am a bit of a magpie. I cannot tell a lie. I like shiny new things. I love trying out new art materials. I love mixed media and experimenting, even though of course my first love is watercolours. As well as being a magpie, I am therefore rather hoarder. And if you look over my shoulder, you will see just a corner of my studio, which is rammed with stuff that might come in useful one day. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new things I might be able to incorporate into my work. So when Journalsay, which is a company that sells all sorts of things that you can use in journaling, said to me, did I want to spend $100 in their shop? I said, oh, yes, please. And the box has arrived. So join me as I open it so you can judge whether I chose well and we can see what sort of ideas it'll spark off. My name's Liz Chaderton. I'm a watercolour artist based in Berkshire. Every week I share tips and tricks I wish I'd known about ages ago. And I also love mixed media. So today, we'll see what's in the box. The order came in 2 packages. I didn't realise that this was part of the order, so I opened it, and then this is the main box. Oh, that's nice. High beauty. Yes, well, I'm not quite sure I'm feeling beautiful today, but anyway, nice box. I'm sure I will find a use for that. Oh, there's a sight to please any magpie. Oh God, I am so happy. Right, I should explain. This came separately and it is a cutting ruler. And when I opened it, I was so disappointed because it just had a straight blade. Can you see it's straight blade? And when I bought it off the website, I thought, I was sure it said it came with all sorts of different blades, like perforations and wiggly ones and whatever. And then this arrived with only one blade and I thought, God, Liz, you really should read things a lot more carefully. You obviously misread it and you get one blade or you could choose another. But it's got the other blade. Being utterly stupid. Well, I may well have been. Wave. Scallop. Oh, I was so pleased because I really thought that I had just been stupid, whizzed through the website and not read it. Whew. Just looking at my hands, I do apologise for the state of them. I've just been spray painting some garden furniture. I chose a blue ink pad because I do like stamping. I have got quite a few stamps and I do like that. What else? Well, I am inordinately fond of dots. I chose some little scraps. So cottage garden, vintage DIY. Oh, that looks pretty. What lovely colours. Retro story. So these are all sort of scraps and pieces to use in collaging. More different scraps, and these are on translucent paper. Lots of polka dots. Oh gosh, I did go crazy with the polka dots. I don't remember those. Oh, I really went crazy with the polka dots. Isn't it funny? So I ordered this couple of weeks ago, I'm going to say. It arrived before then, but I resisted opening it because I wanted to actually film the opening, and I can't actually remember what I ordered. Oh, so this is junk journaling, sort of vintage tent decoration material package. Oh, did I order 2 of those? Apparently I did. Ah, this is a crocodile clip. Now this might seem a strange thing to order, but ever since we went to Australia, I just love crocodiles. We went up into the Daintree rainforest and had the most amazing boat ride along the river looking for crocodiles with someone who's an absolute passionate advocate for them. So when I saw these crocodile clips, I just had to order those. So these are little spray inks, different colours. I thought the colours were gorgeous and I thought these would be great fun. So I said I like stamps and I saw those. So these are lace effect and I thought those would be really nice. And these are sort of insects with writing. So those are fantastic. Yeah, if you don't like insects, look away now. I am ridiculously fond of stag beetles. We get them in our garden and we get lots of maybugs, which are quite exciting when they dive bomb you. I really like those stamps, so we'll try those out. Oh gosh, that's tiny. I thought I'd ordered an A4 size cutting board because my cutting board is in a bit of a shocking state. That is obviously A5. And then I ordered a couple of stencils. I do love stenciling and I thought this fish scale one was really nice and would be really versatile. And I rather liked this sort of double square one. So I'll give that a try. And then what does it say? Join the Facebook group for an exciting art exchange and to meet new friends. That's my unboxing. Now we need to give some of this a go. As I say, I really thought that was going to be A4, so that is my fault yet again for not reading things properly. But let's try this. And I thought it would be useful because it comes with these different blades and it does give you information about the weight of the paper that you can cut through. So say for the straight one it's only 80 grams, which is sort of photocopier paper, but others go up to 300 grams. So we'll give those a go. You just push down and go along and obviously you get a cut. So it looks like you swap them over using this little notch here. Oh yes, look, can you see perforations? And then you can rip it. Why would that be useful? I don't know, but I thought it was kind of clever. Let's use the decal, which should give me a nice wavy line. Like a deckled edge. Oh, that's quite nice. It's just a scrap of printmaking paper, but I would like to see whether this will work or not. Oh yeah, if you push a bit harder, that pretty much goes through. Oh, that is a pretty useful edging tool. How robust this is, how sharp these will stay, obviously I just don't know. But it's kind of neat. Yes, I'm absolutely delighted that the other cutters came in that package because, as I say, I was kicking myself thinking that I'd only bought like one little cutter. If you love paper crafts, that could be a really neat little set. The little packs that caught my eye as I opened were these ones, polka dots, these pretty little bits of they look like textured paper, and then these scraps. It's a stunning spring day here, so why don't I do a little journal page with these? I'm working in a children's board book that I've rubbed down and put gesso on. I've got a full film about how to use them and they're really satisfying because they're nice and chunky. I'm going to start the background with some paint and some collage, so I'm just going through the scraps and the textures on these are beautiful. I do wish they were a bit bigger, but you can't have everything. Better use some of those polka dots because I'd gone a little overboard with them, and again just selecting out the green there. For speed I'm going to use acrylic paints because of course they dry so quickly, and I don't bother with a palette. I'm just using this as background and squeezing the paints on and then blending them on the book. When I journal, I tend to do 3 phases. There's the background, which could be multiple layers, then there's the centre of interest, and thirdly there's the finishing touches. So here I've put the acrylic on, making sure it's dry, which always helps, and then I'm thinking all about my collage. I just put it in place, play around with it, make sure there's a difference in the size and shape of the pieces that I'm using, and when I'm happy I'll take a quick photo so I can remember what's there. Then I'll stick it all in place using matte gel medium. I was thinking of a spring theme, and I suddenly remembered we had these napkins left over from Easter with daffodils on them, so they're perfect. I've peeled off the back 2 layers and I'm just cutting out or ripping out a few of the flowers. I love napkins because they do give a sort of transparency, and I think given I've got those transparent polka dots, that'll all work together really well. You do need to handle them with care because they get very fragile once they're wet, but they're a cheap and cheerful way of playing around with layers. You need to make sure everything is stuck down really well, so I put matte medium underneath and on top, because of course this is the background, this is your foundation. If this falls off, your whole design will fall off. So once it's all in place, I let it dry thoroughly, if I'm feeling patient, which I'm not always, and then decide where to go next. I do need to have a focal point, so I'm leaving a bit of a quieter area just on the right side here. But once I've stuck it all down, I do think that I haven't left it quite quiet enough. So I'm going to come back and put some white paint in that area just to calm it down a bit more. Of course, if you change your mind as you're doing this gluing, you can change things around. You don't have to stick with your original plan, and that's the joy of journaling. If something's not quite working, you can do something different, you can add more, and you can just be led by it and go in different ways. Here I'm adding the acrylic paint just to calm that area down, and I do put a little dot of it in other places. On the whole, if you do something in one place, it's nice to echo it around in others. It's important to blend in the edges so that nothing looks out of place and we've got a really integrated piece. I'm just using my fingers, no wonder that my hands are always dirty, but they're very convenient. I thought I should test out the stamp before I actually use it on the journal, and I've inked it up. It is beautiful. The detail on this is absolutely lovely. Very happy with that. So I'm going to now stamp onto some of that transparent polka dot material and then collage it on. I did originally try stamping direct onto the book, but there was just too much texture and the detail of the stamp didn't show through. The stamp was really stage 2, it's meant to be the focal point, but at this point I'm not very happy with the way things are going. It all looks out of balance, so I thought that if I added some lighter pieces of collage it would integrate everything, and that's what I'm doing here. This is from one of the scrap collections, and it almost looks like it's pressed flowers in this paper. We're moving on to stage 3, which is finishing touches. So I need to think what I can do to pull everything together. I think some words would be nice, so I'm going to use my little stamping block with that ink pad. I have to say I'm not overly happy with the ink pad. The ink takes quite a while to dry and then it reactivates in the water, so it's not my favourite, but I do like the colour, though it's not quite dark enough to give the impact on that dragonfly that I wish it had. The phrase "the bringer of dreams" is from a poem about dragonflies, just in case you're wondering, and you can see the printing is definitely not perfect, but I very much have the Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi, which is embracing accidents and seeing beauty in perfection. So if something goes wrong, I think, how can I put it right? How can I disguise it? So I've grabbed just an ordinary ballpoint pen and I'm taking the blue into other areas. I'm starting to pick up the texture of that really gorgeous green fabricy paper and filling in some of the different holes in that. I've got an acrylic marker here and I'm adding some of my favourite dots. All my journal pages seem to have dots in the end. You can think of these finishing touches and mark making as like putting jewellery on just before you go out. So these are the earrings and bracelet, just to sort of try and pull everything together. I've been a bit rude about this ink, so I thought I should give it another try. And I've got a blending brush and I'm using it to sort of antique the edges of the page. It almost gives a bit more depth and dimension to it. And because this was looking very sort of pondy with the colours that I've chosen, it made me think of that stencil, the fish scale stencil, and I thought, oh, I wonder what the ink would go through that stencil. So that's what I do next. And I think it works really well. Honestly, these little blending brushes, Journalsay do sell them, but I already had them. They're just makeup blending brushes, but they allow you to stencil with ink or watercolours and it doesn't run under them. You get a really crisp mark. Such a game changer. I thought I'd finished at this point and I'm just taking a quick breath and a cup of tea to decide whether I have, but I thought it needed just a few little bits of lifting, and then I thought of one of the bindings that was tied round the package and just stuck on a couple of lines of this sort of white bobbly thread that otherwise would have got thrown away, and I think that just helps. So what did you think to my choices? Would you have chosen the same things? Would you have used it in the same way? My top tips, I have 4 top tips to you, which is set yourself a budget before you start shopping and have an idea of what you want. They have over 3,000 products on the website. So if I were you, I'd use the product catalogue so that you can narrow things down. And I would check prices. Journalsay is a curated shop front, so they've brought all these things together in one area, but you can also sometimes find them elsewhere. Not be like me. Check dimensions, check quantities a lot more carefully. Now you might be watching this thinking, well, she's going to be positive because, hey, she got this stuff for free. I actually checked out Trustpilot before I said that I would do this, and they have about 1,000 reviews which are overwhelmingly positive. People like the quality, people like the customer service, people like the delivery speed. So I think that should give you peace of mind. So let me know, how well do you think I chose these materials, and would you have chosen something different?